Hello Dr. Nadia and everyone. In this video, I'm gonna discuss about my research about the influence of advertising on consumer purchasing decision at UCS University. First, we have background of the study. We have four main points, starting with the role of advertising. Advertising plays a crucial role in shaping brand image and influencing consumers' perception and purchasing decision in modern business environments. Second, growth in digital technology. Rapid technological advancement and high mobile usage have increased consumers, especially university students, exposure to online and social media advertisements. Third, persuasive techniques. Advertisements use persuasive elements such as USP or unique selling points, taglines, and relatable contents to capture attention and influence consumer behavior. Lastly, limitation of advertising. Despite its impact, advertising also has limitation, as unclear message and mismatched target markets can reduce effectiveness and weaken purchase intention. Next, we have problem statement. We have another four main points. Lack of understanding. There's a limited clarity on how specific advertising elements directly influence brand awareness, consumer decision making, and purchasing behavior, especially when combined with external influence, like peers and influencers. Gap in localized research. Most studies focus on global context, leaving a lack of research on how advertising affects purchasing decision among Malaysian university students with their cultural environment, which is different from the global cultural environment. Lastly, ethical and social concerns. Persuasive advertising techniques may create unrealistic expectations and influence consumers unfairly. Ethical and social concerns. Persuasive advertising techniques may create unrealistic expectation and influence consumers unfairly, highlighting the need for ethical and responsible advertising practices. Next, we have research objective, research question, and hypothesis. Each point from research objective, research question, and hypothesis are related to each other. For example, I take the last one. Research Objective 3 to evaluate ethical and social implications of advertising, especially on how emotional or manipulative advertising techniques may affect students' purchasing decision. The question is, what are the ethical and social implications of advertising on young consumers, particularly in relation to emotional manipulation and purchasing decision? The hypothesis, emotionally manipulative or unrealistic advertising message have negative ethical and social implications, leading to a regression of purchasing behavior among UCSI university students. Next, we have the theoretical framework. We adapt the hierarchy of effects theory, which explains how advertising influences consumers through a step-by-step psychological process that leads from initial awareness to final purchase. The first step is awareness. This stage is where consumers first become aware of the product. The second one is knowledge. In this stage, consumers begin to seek more and more information about the product, such as the features, benefit, and quality. Third stage, liking. The liking stage involves emotional response, where consumers start developing a positive feeling toward the brand. Fourth, preference. In this phase, consumers begin to favor one brand over another. Fifth, conviction. Conviction occurs when consumers are mentally convinced that the product is the right choice. Lastly, purchase. The final stage is when consumers take action and make the purchase. Next, we have the conceptual framework. This conceptual framework illustrates the relationship between advertising influence as the independent variable and consumer purchasing decision as the dependent variable among UCSI University students. Guided by the hierarchy of effects model, advertising influence consumer at cognitive, affective, and behavioral levels. Ethical and social implications act as the moderating variable, where transparent and responsible advertising can strengthen trust and purchase intention, while misleading may weaken the consumer perception about the brand. Next, we have the significance of study. For marketers, This study provides valuable insight for marketers by explaining how different advertising strategies influence university students, who represent a major and highly active consumer segment. For the practical perspective, the findings help advertisers and business organizations evaluate which advertising approach, either digital based, influencer based, traditional based, are the most suitable for the young consumers. The most effective way. By examining various advertising types and elements, this research identifies the most effective methods for capturing attention and motivating purchase decisions. Lastly, how it influences consumer perception. The study highlights how advertising message, emotional appeal, and ethical responsibility shape consumer perception, helping businesses build trust, strengthen the brand image, and foster long-term customer loyalty. Next, we have the literature review. First, we start with the development of advertisement. Advertising has evolved from ancient methods such as papyrus notice, town cries, and word of mouth to printed advertisements after the invention of the printing press in the 15th century. It progressed through newspapers, billboards, radio, and television, known as the golden age of advertising. Now it's transforming to the digital and online advertising, continuously adapting to technological advancement and changing consumer needs. Type of advertisement. Basically, we have two types of advertisement: traditional based advertising, which use offline methods such as printing, broadcast, outdoor, and direct marketing to build the brand awareness and reach local or mass audience. Modern based advertising leverage digital and interactive platforms such as website, social media, influencer marketing, and mobile application to deliver personalized and engaging content. Next, purchasing decision. A purchasing decision is a multi-stage process involving recognition, information search, evaluation of the alternatives, purchase, and post-purchase evaluation. Influenced by internal and external factors such as advertising and social influence. Psychological, social, economic, and personal factors shape consumer choices, making it important for marketers to understand this stage to effectively guide consumers toward the purchase and loyalty. Factors influencing purchasing decision. Consumer buying decisions in 2025 are influenced by a complex mix of psychological, personal, social, economic, technological, and ethical factors. Emotion, trust, lifestyle, income, social proof, digital experience, and brand values all shape purchasing behavior, requiring marketers to integrate emotional appeal, social endorsement, technological convenience, and ethical alignment to effectively engage and persuade consumers in today's dynamic market. The fifth one, advertising type, works the best in shaping purchasing decision. Traditional and modern advertising each have distinct advantages in influencing consumer purchasing decision. Traditional methods, TV, radio, print, and billboards, build awareness, trust, credibility, leaving lasting impression, especially among older demographics and local markets with less clutter. While modern digital advertising excels in precise targeting, engagement, cost effective, and interactive communication, enabling real time monitoring and optimization of campaigns. Last, we have the limitation. There are significant gaps in research on the influence and optimization of digital advertising at UCSI University and within Malaysia local culture and business context. Limited study examined consumer responses to different digital ad types among local and international students. The effective of combined traditional and digital advertising and challenges faced by the Malaysian SMEs in implementing advanced digital marketing strategies. Addressing these gaps can provide valuable insight for creating target culturally relevant advertising that helps business in USSI and across Malaysia maximize the impact of digital marketing. For the research approach, this study employs a quantitative approach utilizing standardized close-ended questions to gather numerical data, allowing for objective analysis of respondents' preferences while reducing bias. A correlational research design is applied through a structured questionnaire to explore the relationship between advertising types, advertising elements, and purchasing behavior among UCSI University students, ensuring systematic measurement without manipulative variables. The study targets UCSI University students in Kuala Lumpur using the purposive sampling to align participants with the research objective. Based on G-power analysis, a minimum of 77 respondents is required, with the target is 100 until 200 students for any potential invalid responses. The relation to the mass communication is by examining how advertising as the key function of mass communication shapes consumer perception, preferences, and purchasing behavior. It investigates how advertising message created, distributed, and received through various media channels, highlighting core mass communication principles such as audience targeting, media influence, and persuasive messaging. Now we move on to the research design. They are research location, which is in UCSI University, population, and in Malaysia there are approximately 1.2 million university students with an increasing number for the past decade. The data collection, we use Google Form, we generate the QR code, and it's target for university student age 70 to 25. The questionnaire will be distributed with online platforms, WhatsApp, CN, Instagram, and we're gonna go around campus to promote this research. Sample size with over 2,000 students in UCSI University, this provides a diverse pool for data collection using G-power analysis for multiple linear regression with three predictions. A minimum of 77 respondents is required for sufficient statistical power at 0.05 significance level. The 100 until 200 responses will be targeted for account the invalid or unusable data. Data analysis. The purpose of data analysis is to summarize the collected data to address the research objective, including describing demographics, identifying the most effective advertisement type, examining the relationship between advertisement elements and student attitudes, and evaluating the ethical and social impact of the advertising. This study will use SPSS for analysis, specifically regression analysis, to estimate the relationship between independent and dependent variables and determine how changes in advertising influence students' purchasing decision. Here are the instruments. The first page is the consent form. The second one is talking about demographics. The section B is talking about advertising, exposure, and behavior. Section C, talking about the advertising content and message effectiveness. Section D is influence of advertising on purchasing decision. That's all for me. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Thank you and God bless you.